A very unique idea, different than you'll find really anywhere. It's called the power of multi thinking, and it's about harnessing multiple perspectives around challenging issues, the things that divide us most as humans, and finding some common ground there and seeing where our ideas intersect and building empathy through that. And it's so interesting because the AI component is, a vital component in the work that I'm doing, but it's also, learning and growth is so connected to our human experience, and that we're just using AI to enhance that. It's not that it takes over. It's about, using it to be better humans and, harnessing that technology for that. It hadn't been on my radar. I mean, I had given short talks before that were TED style, but not on a TEDx stage. And I was working with somebody who I trust immensely, who said, you know what, the North Star really with this work that you're doing really would be the TEDx stage. And so that kind of planted the seed, and that was several years ago. And so I kind of always kept it in the back of my mind, but hadn't been really actively working towards it. And then I went back in my book, actually, that I was keeping notes in. I went back to that recently, and I had written next to the notes where I was talking about this person, Taylor Conroy. So he had given me his name and said, go look up him and see what he's doing to help people get on the TEDx stage. And I didn't remember that conversation until I recently went back to that book, and I was like, oh, isn't that funny that I think that I went into it feeling very coachable and feeling like, okay, release your assumptions about what it needs to be. I went in with a different idea than what I ended up delivering on the stage, which probably is like 95% of people probably say that they, it evolves through the process. I wouldn't call it so much of a challenge, that it was just kind of, creating the time in my schedule to do it, because you have to be diligent about it. You have to be continually working on it. It doesn't just happen just because you signed up. It's a commitment. And so at the time I was, very busy doing a lot of things in multiple countries and kind of traveling and taking care of my family. And so just carving out that initial time. And I made sure that I worked on it at least 2 to 3 times a week in blocks of time. And I think once I got that and had the rhythm with it, then I was like, okay, I got this. And then the structure is set up that it's there for you to succeed, but you have to put in the work. I think the advice is commit. If you're going to commit, like you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, and show up to the talk practices was so important for me. The coaches were an invaluable piece for me. And I admittedly didn't engage in the community as much as I think would be expected, but I definitely utilized the talk practices. And the coaching that I got there helped make both the talks what they were. They say just keep applying, keep applying, keep applying. I think my first talk, as far as the timeline goes, I started the program in March, and it was several months before I got the yes on the first talk. And then the day I got home from delivering the first talk, I got the offer for the second talk, and went right into the talk writing and practice mode right again. And so I think that diligence is just, the diligence, the commitment, keep showing up and be open to how it evolves for you is really my advice.